Hey everybody, welcome to another video. And today we're going to talk about survival kits and survival theory. A lot of people make videos and introduce kits naming them 72-hour survival kits or 72-hour bug out kits. I'm not sure why they give it hours, because a person technically can live for 72 hours without drinking water, without eating food. They can literally just sit on their butts for 72 hours and not expend any energy, just lay down or sit down for 72 hours, wait to be rescued, and do absolutely nothing and survive. So I'm not sure what these 72-hour kits, why they name them like that, but like I said, in 72 hours, you can do absolutely nothing and still be fine, survive, you'll still be alive. Now, if you go beyond that, you're going to need a way to find water because you got to drink water. Your body needs it. Your body needs food less. You can survive almost a whole month without food, okay? Almost a month without food. And so basically, water is very important. You got to get water to your system. But even if you're not doing anything, if you're not expending energy, if you're just sitting still, you can survive for 72 hours without a kit. Okay? Let's get that out of the way. Now that's if you're in halfway decent shape. Now, let's talk about my theory here. All right, I believe in different stages of survival kit. There are temporary survival kits, okay? And then there are permanent survival kits, permanent living. All right. So, what are temporary survival kits? Temporary survival kits are like these things, little pocket size or Altoid size or pouch size survival kits. Okay, mainly to help you survive beyond that period where you need to start thinking about finding food. Okay, that's what a survival kit is. A survival kit is something that you need when that time period of where your body doesn't need food ends. Okay, because you can survive with absolutely nothing as long as your body does not need food. Okay, water, different story. You're gonna have to immediately search for water. If you're in a stranded situation, your airplane crash, your boat sank, and you're stranded on an island, or if you are, there's an urban catastrophe where there's flood and fire everywhere, and you need to evacuate your home, okay, evacuate your town. The first thing you look for is number one, help from other people, and you need to get some water, okay? Because stress, anxiety, physical exertion, that's all not only expending energy that requires you to later need to eat, but it also you need water, okay? Because your body is going to expel a lot of water from your body through perspiration, through human waste, whatever. You need to put water back in your system. So water is like number one. You got to get that. You got to find, soon as you know you're in a dire strait situation, regardless if you are lost in the woods, okay, you can't find your way back. First thing you do is look for a source of water or find a way to get some water. Now, this pocket size little thing here doesn't have water, but it is basically something you're going to carry around until your body needs food, and you're going to try to get food. You got a Swiss Army knife here with a knife for game processing, wood whittling, whatever. You have a saw for wood processing to make tinder for fire. Okay, you have a peanut lighter to help you start a fire. Okay, you have a compass here for help you navigate for self-rescue. Sometimes all you need to know is where's north, where's west, where's east, where's south, because you know that you may be in a situation where you're in a state park, you're lost. You know that your state park is located in a town or state, and as long as you know, if you go north, you'll run into a highway. If you go south, you'll run into a town. If you go west, you'll run into a country road or something like that. As long as you know your directions, you're going to be somewhat able to navigate away from your situation. All right. A temporary light source. I say temporary because it's run by battery. It'll run out of battery sooner or later. But temporary light source, use in only emergency situations. You're not going to turn this on and walk around with it, okay? You're going to be caught soon. It's going to get dark. And you're only going to use this when you need to see something, okay? When you're going to be doing something. You're not going to keep this on like as if this was a night light and just sit there in the light doing nothing, okay? This is for when you are actually using your hands to do something and you need to see. You turn this on and you do what you got to do, and then when you're done, you turn it off. And your butt is going to sit there in the dark until you need to do something again, and then you turn this on. That's how you're going to use emergency lights, okay? They're not for night light. They're not there to provide you light just because it's dark. It's to provide you light to do something, and then when you're done with doing that, you turn it off. All right. Going in. As I said, this kit is for when your body starts to need food. And the best way to find food is to hunt for food. This is a frog gig. You can hunt for a number of small games, from frogs to squirrels to rabbits with this. You can throw this. You can even fish with this. Good luck with that. But you can, if you're in a shallow stream and you can see fish swimming around in it, you can. It's better than trying to catch them with your hand. You can try to spear them, whatever. Okay, and with a combination of a knife, you can whittle yourself a nice little staff or spear and make yourself a nice frog gig or spear to hunt for small game. You can also kill a snake with it, whatever, and that's that. Ferro rod, okay, very important. Okay, I would say almost maybe more important than water, because like I said, you can survive without water for a few days, but hypothermia can kick in at any time. Hypothermia can kick in within an hour of you being stranded somewhere. Okay, so fire is pretty important. You have to be able to start a fire because that is your number one shelter. Okay, number one, the most basic shelter is warmth to keep you from suffering hypothermia. So start a fire fast as you can and get a fire going. Further in, and get it out. It's snagged. There you go. A slingshot. Okay. This will never, ever run out of bullets. Okay? So it's a very permanent survival tool. And I'll get to that in a second. Speaking of bullets, if you want efficient bullets, okay, get this open. If you want efficient bullets, here we go. For the slingshot, I have very small ball bearings to medium-sized ball bearings, and the smaller ones are for small birds. Okay, larger ones are for like rabbits and squirrels. Okay. But like I said, you could use this entire little pouch. You could use it all up. But that'll never run out of bullets as long as you can find little pebbles or little rocks, okay? Now, they may not be as efficient as a ball bearing, but it'll still work. Tinder. You know, one of the hardest things is starting a fire. Okay, just because you have a ferro rod is not a guarantee you're going to be able to start a fire. You have to have sufficient, efficient tinder to be able to start a fire. And once you get this caught on fire, you need to be ready to feed the fire with proper fuel. And the proper fuel, you need to in order to have proper fuel, you need to process your wood or your tinder. Okay, you have to cut big chunks into little chunks into shavings in order for you to be able to feed the little fire that you started with your tinder here. Okay, and then you gradually feed it more and more and bigger fuel to get the fire going. Okay, and it takes time and art to do it. And a lot of practice. So go out there in your backyard or whatever you got to do in practice. Little things like this, these are luxury items. I call them luxury items because you may need to fasten two pieces of wood together and you don't have rope or cordage. This might help you in that aspect. Takes up very little space in your kit, so I included it. It takes up less space than cordage itself, so you may need that, may not. Little fishing kit bobber. Let's keep digging in here, see what else I got. Alright, so this is my little fishing kit. I got a spool of fishing line right here. Okay, and all these little things here, fishing hooks, and I can make extra frog gigs with this and all this and that. Will this work? Will it not? I tell you what, you ever see somebody fashion a fishing hook out of wood or twig? Okay, I guarantee you one of these will work a lot better than trying to do that. So definitely better than that and better than nothing, right? Regardless if you say it works or not. I have a sewing needle in here that I can use with the fishing line to repair clothing. Your clothing is very important to keep you from hypothermia. It is like your second skin. So if it's torn and it needs to repair, you need to repair it. Alright, I have more sinkers here. I have sinkers here and fishing lines here. So that is my fishing kit. Will it work? Well, I tell you what, it's going to work better than nothing. All right. And I have seen people literally catch fish with a hook they fashioned out of wood. Okay. So, yeah, that'll work. All right. So that's what we got here. That's it. All right. Wait a minute. I'm missing something here. Here's some more tinder. Can't do enough. you can never do enough fire stuff. Okay, this is just what I got right now, and even with this, there is a big chance I might not be successful in starting a fire. So that's that one kit right there. And like I said, this kit is not for immediate use. This kit is something that you have on you. You're waiting around for rescue. You're trying to self-rescue yourself, okay? And you get lost in the woods, and you're just there for a week now. And now you need to start to think about looking for food and surviving. And this here is going to continue on to the next stage. All right, now we're talking about further in, okay? Now we're going to need a bigger survival kit. If you have used this and survived a few weeks or maybe even a month, I would say you did a good job. This served your purpose. This helped keep you alive for a whole month, all right? And after that, all this is going to be gone, okay? The fire tinder is definitely going to be gone. The bullets for your slingshot's going to be gone. The only thing you're going to have left is possibly the ferro rod, the pocket knife, multi-tool, the frog gig, and some of your fishing gear, okay? So that's what you're going to have left in a month, okay? If you're using it properly and not wasting it. And that's it, okay? That's what you got to survive on for the rest of the time you are out stranded or needing rescue. Now this may be a better survival kit, more efficient way to hunt. You have 333 rounds, okay? That's almost 1 round per day for almost not even a year, okay? But imagine you're expending some of this and trying to hunt and you miss and this and that. And I would say this might be a good maybe 3 to 6 months worth of ammo, okay? If you're using this only when you need to hunt, okay? And I would say about 3 months. 3 months. 6 months would be stretchy, okay? But all right, so this is not a permanent survival kit because, like I said, that's gonna run out. This is not a permanent living situation survival kit. When that runs out, this becomes useless. So this is for like one of those things like that. You're waiting to be rescued. You have waited long enough where your body starts to need food and you're actively hunting, and very temporary, okay? Longer term of survival, but regardless, still temporary. Then we get into a kit like this. I'll explain what's in here. This is a rain tarp, plastic rain tarp with a one of those survival blankets. Okay, so that's your little temporaries. Try to keep from getting hypothermia shelter. This is my little mini hunting kit. Okay, it has a steel piece of cutting edge. I can use this to baton wood. Baton wood, split wood. I can use that because this edge is not sharp, but it's sharp enough where if I put it on a small log, and bang it or baton it, I can split wood with this. Okay, so it's not just for show. I would literally use this as a very hard edge tool to get things done. All right. In here I have a slingshot man. Okay, I have a fishing line kit here and some tinder. This in itself is like a micro kit of that. Okay, so even if I didn't have this pouch, I could use this in a situation where when my body starts to need food, I can start using this to hunt. So where is the slingshot? Well, you can fashion your own slingshot by using this walker. This Victorinox has a saw. There you go. I can saw off a Y branch, a branch with two splitting Y branch, and I could saw it off and make a slingshot using a Y branch. So I could saw with this, and then I can use the knife to whittle the. I did a video making a slingshot with this, so if you want to look that up, go ahead, feel free. It's on my channel. And then you have a lighter for starting fire. You have the ball bearings for the slingshot bullets. Okay, and you have a bandage. You know, just in case you're whittling a slingshot and you cut yourself, you have a little bandage. All right, and then you have a little wet towel here, little convenience thing. All right, and you have a compass. You have a compass with a ferro rod in there. That compass has a ferro rod in it. Okay, and a little blade, cutting blade. All right, put that back. Now let's go into here. Now I have a little Espit stove. Why do I have an Espit stove when I can just start a campfire and use that, right? Well, I have an Espit stove because it's easier and more efficient way to use this. I'll get in here real quick. I have a container of water, and this is just to survive your few days before you run out of this. This is supply of water for you to use while you're looking for more water. Never stop for looking for more water. Okay, this is a supply of water to use, not just to sit on your butt and wait for rescue, but this is water for you to use as fuel for your body while you're looking for more water. Okay, and deep inside, the whole thing was resting on that's just a steel cup. You should have a steel cup. It's very inexpensive. This was like $6 at Walmart. It's a steel cup. And I say you need an Espit stove because it's a very efficient way to what? Put this pot on there and boil you some water. Okay? You're not going to boil that water because that's clean water. You're going to drink that while you look for, when you run out of that, you're going to fill that up, this here, with stream water, lake water, river water, or ground water, whatever. And then you're going to boil it in here. You're going to pour that in here and boil it every time you want to drink water. You're going to boil a cup of water and drink it, a mug of water and drink it, okay? So that's that. Okay. And you have a temporary light again. It's the same way you would use that other flashlight. You'll use this. Eventually, you're not going to be able to use it because it's going to run out of battery. And then you have cordage. Okay. Because you're going to make some sort of shelter with it. You're going to tie branches together and construct a frame of some sort, and then you're gonna take bushes or large leaves and stuff and make yourself a little roof over your head. All right, so that's that. Okay, at the end of the day, what you're gonna really need for permanent living, let's say you're stuck on a deserted island, a desert island, you probably have absolutely no chance of surviving because it's going to be just void of any kind of life, no vegetation, no nothing. It's just flat rocks and sand. That's a desert island. A deserted island is an island where there's no living people on it, but there is life on it. There's trees, there's plants, there's vegetation. There might be even hopes of fresh water. I doubt it. The only way those vegetations and trees survive is because of rainfall. So, but let's say you're on a deserted island, void of any kind of chance of you surviving. Let's say that you ever watched the movie Castaway, where Tom Hanks is marooned on an island, and he lived there for a few years before he was finally rescued because he decided to fashion a raft and floated out to sea and got rescued by a freight, one of those tankers. Well, permanent living survival, you're going to need this. That will never run out of fuel. You can start enough fires with this until the day you die. Guarantee it. Okay? So, right there. That's it. You're going to need some sort of heavy duty. I'm talking about hatchet level heavy duty, but very, very sharp knife. Because let's face it, you're not going to put a hatchet or an axe in your survival kit. It's too damn heavy. This knife is heavy enough as it is by itself. But this is a multi-purpose, multi-use, one knife does it all kind of knife. Okay, this can be used like a hatchet. Okay, so this can be used like a hatchet. This can be used to do fine detail work as well because it's very sharp. You can skin game with this. You can baton wood with this. I have literally chopped down small trees with this, just hacking away at it. You see my prior videos where I'm clearing my backyard and front yard, and I'm just hacking away at branches this thick, and it literally just hacks away half of it. I mean, hacks away into half of it and everything. So yeah. And I have some cordage inside the handle. I made video doing that as well. So a handsaw, very necessary if you're going to do some sort of wood processing. You know, I said you can axe away at a tree and cut it down. Well, you know, you don't want to do that. If you have a saw, you can use a saw to help you process wood. You can baton wood with that and make it into smaller tinder size. Always helps to have a really sharp, smaller knife to do fine detail work. Let's say you're lucky enough to catch fish. This is great for gutting and cleaning fish. This is great for gutting anything from a squirrel all the way to a deer. All right. Now, I'm not saying you can't process deer with this. You definitely can. It's sharp enough to handle that. But I would say you can even possibly process a squirrel with this, but pretty big knife for that. You know, it's always to have something like this. You can, you know, manage small fish or small squirrels with this, rabbits, whatever. You know, fine detail work. An auger. Why do I have this? because you can drill holes into pretty decent sized branches. And why would you want to do that? Well, you would want to do that if you want to build a shelter. You can put a smaller a branch into a larger log and create a frame. Okay, it avoids you from needing any cordage or some sort of nails. You can, make a hole and put a branch through it and create a frame to help you build a shelter or a raft. Okay, if you're stranded and you need to get across a body of water. All right, so there it is. My stages of survival from very temporary, I'm just waiting to be rescued, and I waited a little too long, and now I'm going to start having to think about finding food. Okay? To, oh shit, ain't nobody really going to come and rescue me, are they? I'm going to be stuck here for maybe several months. To, oh man, that's it. I'm going to be here until I die. So that's it. That's my theory of survival kit. If you disagree with me, or if you have a better theory, please comment down below or make a video and post it. Post a link to the comment section below and share your opinion and your suggestions. I really appreciate it. Thanks for sticking around and listening to all this and watching all this. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.